At a time when budgets are tight for people and for communities and for states, many are thinking outside the box when it comes to paying the bills. And in this week's Assignment Education Report, Lisa Klein introduces us to a band teacher who went the extra mile to make sure all of the students in his school district were afforded the same opportunity.
Hidden within these bluffs, in a quiet, peaceful community, is a school that's making a lot of noise on the national stage.
One for the record books.
This record-setting year for the Kickapoo Middle and High School band director, Bill Doolin, came in the form of monetary donations for his band program.
Most small school districts, and I'm sure you're aware of that, are dealing with declining enrollment and budgets that don't fill the needs that you have.
On top of the cash-strapped district, the community is also facing tough economic times, as 60% of the students are on free and reduced lunch.
And we know that there are students out there that would be glad and happy, and we would be glad to have them be in band. But the parents can't afford an instrument or instruments.
So this 30-year veteran of the Kickapoo Band Department decided to apply for a grant from the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation. The foundation donates up to $10,000 worth of both new and refurbished instruments to school programs that struggle economically.
On the application, you have to put the instruments that you want and for what uses. So I requested 11 beginning band instruments so that these students don't have to pay the rent on those instruments.
There were 2,000 applicants nationally and only 50 $10,000 awards. In November, the Kickapoo Middle and High School band program was notified they were the lucky recipients of one of the grants. However, Mr. Doolin's hard work and dedication to his band program paid off in more ways than one.
Then I get a letter in the mail from a longtime friend of mine that I hadn't seen for 15 years. And in that letter was a check. And I picked up the check and went, oh my gosh, $10, great. So I read the letter from this person and put the check down. Picked up the check again. It's $10,000.
A donation that would make anybody emotional. So for a district that is struggling to make budget and families who are also trying to pay the bills, this money has everyone playing a different tune.
Now I have 22 beginning instruments instead of 11 for Mr. Holland's Opus. I repaired almost all the woodwind instruments that needed to be repaired. Bought another sousaphone that I needed for next year. You know, I don't know where that money comes from because it doesn't come from my budget.
This year it didn't have to, thanks to a grant and community donations that will be instrumental in changing kids' lives.
Some students that come in that have some classroom issues, discipline, or whatever their problems are, they seem like by the time they walk out the door when they're a senior, they've grown up a lot as far as their classroom attitude and preparedness. Take a breath after 4 bars, please.
And while this band director, who has spent his entire career in music education at Kickapoo Middle and High School, has helped prepare his students for life after high school, nothing could have prepared him for the additional honor which came in January of being named Outstanding Music Instructor by the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation.
What an honor for us as a small school district like this to receive a national award 1 out of 5 in the United States. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's wonderful.
Overwhelmed, humbled. You know, I don't know if it's the reputation now that I feel I have to live up to, and every day is still the same for me.
However, there is one day in April that will be a little different for Mr. Doolin. He will be presented with his Outstanding Music Instructor Award at New York City's Carnegie Hall, which for musicians is an extreme honor.
Probably the dream to be on stage in Carnegie Hall, because not many people get there. But I guess in 2 months I'll be there. I won't be the professional player, might be a professional educator, but I'll still be on stage.
Catapulting this small-town band instructor from his classroom podium to the national stage. In Kickapoo, Lisa Klein, News Channel 8.
Well, the $10,000 check that Mr. Doolin received was given by a community member within the Kickapoo district who wants to remain anonymous. We don't want to forget to mention that Vernon Memorial also donated $8,600 to the program. Very cool.